This time on Whatever We Want, we talk about WandaVision.
Episodes 1 and 2, baby. We talk about Paul Bettany, why each episode costs so much money. It's not just Paul Bettany's fault. The way I said that made it sound like that.
Yeah, you made it sound like he's a money mongrel.
All the visual effects shots. We're going to theorize predictions about the multiverse and what's going to happen. Spoilers, major spoilers
Big
ahead.
spoilers.
Sit back, enjoy. See you in there. PreBanter Peanut Butter. Daniel, how you doing? Welcome back.
I finally got my keyboard.
Nice. Daniel's been waiting for his keyboard for a hot minute.
Dude, it's been like half a freaking month. It's been almost a whole month. Actually, it's been
goodness.
like at least 3 weeks. The first parts of it came in, and I got the switches and the keycaps, but no board. I'm like,
just the bare bones of a keyboard.
exactly. I just I have like all the keys and everything, but I don't have the actual board itself. So I'm just like, what's going on?
Wow.
So it took a couple more days, and that finally came in, and we got all together. And it's
Nice.
pretty.
Well, it sounds like your 2021's off to a good start, just like everyone else's who's listening to this podcast, because, you know, they're off to a great start. I'm back at college, so, again, the setup might sound different. But yeah, we're back into the swing of things, or about to be. Yeah, you ready to jump into things? Get talking about WandaVision?
Let's get into it. Hit me with the big intro. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. It's worldwide. Go.
You may want us to talk about this or that, but we don't care. We're gonna talk about whatever we want. Blah. Welcome back to Whatever We Want, the podcast where we, Jake and Daniel, two devilishly handsome gentlemen, talk about movies, giving behind-the-scenes insights, filmmaking techniques, also TV shows, like we're talking about WandaVision this week, behind-the-scenes trivia, all that jazz, and more. Daniel, what are we talking about this week? I already spoiled it, I know. Go.
WandaVision! Are we doing both 1 and 2?
Yes, episodes 1 and 2.
I didn't know if you wanted like split it up or something like that. But
let's just talk about. I just want to talk about like kind of theories and predictions, just things that stood out. We don't have to really necessarily like recap too much because I don't know. I thought it was a little like boring at parts, but like also because it's just like a 50s TV show and then 60s TV show.
Yeah. The pacing and timing is different, which is I actually appreciated that because they captured that properly.
Yeah, I agree. You ready to jump in?
Yeah.
The first thing I noticed was the retro Marvel logo, and then like the aspect ratio changing to 4:3, which was more like the 50s TV shows.
Yeah, I love that, dude. That's great.
We should talk about, I think, the premise of this a little bit. So, like, I think we don't know the exact premise, but I think there's been a lot of theories, and I think we can kind of guess what's going to happen. So, basically, every episode is kind of like going through the decades. Like, the first episode was the 50s, and we even saw the next episode. It was kind of tough to tell because there were only minor differences, but there are differences. Mm-hmm. That was the 60s.
Yep.
And I think it's just going to be, every episode is going to be kind of going through the decades. At the end of the second episode, we saw it kind of transition into the 70s with the color palette changing and everything, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I really liked how that and also the way that Wanda changed it up there at the end of that second episode, that was crazy to then lead to that transition.
Yeah, I know, dude.
That was, oh man.
So I think the premise is like Wanda's trapped, and I wanted to hear your thoughts. Do you think someone's trapped her, or do you think she's doing this to herself, or do you think it's a combination, like maybe someone initially trapped her, but she kind of wants to live in this reality, so she's allowing herself to kind of stay here?
I think it's a combination. It's like, I feel like she definitely is trapped. Because, you know, we're getting a lot of the subliminal messages and a lot of there's like, if you read into a lot of what the other characters are saying, you'll start picking up other bigger organizations per se, or entities. And
yeah, like Sword and stuff was hinted at.
Yeah, like Sword, even Mephisto. There's been a lot of stuff leading towards Mephisto, which, for those of you who don't know, in the comics is the devil.
Oh, yeah. Didn't they have this, Wanda and Vision like had kids and something happened with their kid and the devil or something?
I'm not sure. I'm not real too read on WandaVision comics.
Okay, I read a little bit about it after I saw that she was pregnant. I was like, oh, they do have kids. I remember that. And I think like in the comics they have kids too, and like one of the kids, somehow his soul is sold to the devil. I don't know how. Or something similar happens and like Wanda kind of like goes crazy. I don't know. But I think the way it's going to go is like she's obviously trapped in here and eventually is going to have to like get out. And I think somehow in the process of getting out, we'll break open the multiverse, and which will lead into Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange, and also all the Spider-Man casting things we've heard, and like how like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will potentially be back in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, agreed. I really love the way, because this is already setting it up so well, because it's like you already can tell that like you're not in the same reality.
I mean, obviously, like it's
obviously not.
Wanda wasn't alive in the 50s.
Well, yeah, but just like cinematic wise, just like
even
because you gotta think of it like this. It's not just like how the world is flowing and functioning. It's also the way that it's visually being told to you.
Visionally.
Oh my god. But no, like think of like Spider-Verse.
No, I completely know what you're saying.
You know,
Yeah.
the way Spider-Verse, they showed you the origins of
Each Spidey.
a lot of different Spider character, but each of the universes had a different visual identity, right?
Right.
And they're taking that same feeling with this, but this is, I don't want to say like a different scale, but at the same time, it's like it feels different in the sense because this is, you know, it's real people. It's not like some animation. It's like you're actually taking it off of like real influences.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see.
There was an animation at the beginning of the second episode that kind of like reminded me of like
that was cool.
Meet the Jetsons or whatever. Yeah. My prediction is that Wanda is going to realize that she has to leave this like fake reality, whatever she's trapped in, this mind palace, and she's going to try to take Vision out with her, and that is going to, I think, tear a hole in the multiverse. I don't know. That's just one of my theories kind of floating around.
I think that could work because it's not just Vision you have to worry about, right? It's the stone in his head.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're in the real like universe, Marvel universe, like all the stones have been destroyed now.
Yeah.
That's like bringing back an Infinity yeah, that would be a lot of
that you're bringing back an Infinity Stone. And at that same time, based off of what Baldy McMagic lady, I can't remember her name for some reason.
What?
Doctor Strange's mentor.
Oh.
The ancient one.
Yeah.
She was talking about how if you like remove an Infinity Stone from a reality, right? You're pretty much condemning that reality to a bunch of more interdimensional or problems, pretty much, right? No, I'm assuming that relates to every reality, you know,
probably,
even if it's some weird 50s pocket reality.
Dude, I just realized that I guess the only thing close to an antagonist in this first episode is his boss, Vision's boss, like Mr. Hart or whatever.
Mr. Hart,
and he's balding. So he's kind of in the trope of Baldy McBossman or something.
Oh no. We're gonna get Mephisto and he's gonna be bald.
Yeah.
Bald with horns. Baldy McHorny.
But yeah, I did. So this is in black and white, and one thing I did notice though, there was one instance of color in this first episode. It was in that commercial with the Stark toaster. It like was blinking red, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Did you notice the sound too?
Yeah, like it sounded like when it was booting up, it was like the repulsor booting up.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
The first time I heard it, I didn't even think I heard the repulsor sound, but I'm like, is that the kid?
Yeah, I know. Someone playing this video.
Is that the crying kid
with the ice cream?
Yeah.
Quality video. No, but yeah, I don't know. I think these commercials have a hint of like trauma of her past. Because the second one is a Strucker watch, and Strucker's the person that gave her the powers. The powers in the first Hydra place. Guy in Ultron. So that's interesting. Baron von Strucker, whatever. I don't know. It also had a Hydra like logo on the watch.
He'll make time for you. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just crazy to think about. I mean, you brought up Sword before. We should probably get more into that as well. What do you know about Sword?
I don't know too much about that.
Okay.
I know that I looked up the acronym is like Sentient Weapon Observation Response, either division or department. It depends on which comic you're reading and stuff. But I think isn't it like S.H.I.E.L.D. but for space pretty much?
Yeah, it's pretty much an offshoot of S.H.I.E.L.D. that's specifically designed towards ETs.
Maybe was Fury establishing that at the post credits of
I think that's where he's at right now.
Captain Marvel.
There's been actual theories where people were able to identify the ship he was
on.
I forget what it's called, but it's like the spear looking spaceship station.
It's the swordfish.
I mean, it could just be the sword. I don't know. Again, I'm not too well read up on that.
Company was named Sword. Oh, Sword and Shield. Oh, that's funny. Sorry, I just got that. But I think I'd make just sword puns like for everything. Is that intentional? Like Sword and Shield? Like that's the
of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. I just went over my head.
It's like 10 years later down the line after they came up with it. They're like, guys, wait a second. Oh my God, we're geniuses.
We're geniuses. Oh my gosh. I wanted to comment. Or sorry, what were you gonna say about Sword?
Well, there's been not only in the show like the 2 episodes we've seen already, but there's been like a lot of stuff from the teaser stuff that shows how much Sword is going to be implemented in this show. Like with the helicopter that was red and yellow, right?
Yeah, it had a sword logo.
Those
are also really cool effects.
Yeah, dude, I love the way that they have that colored out like that, and the masking on that is like perfect. The
masking is really clean, especially like with her hand right there.
Yeah.
Did you see? Well, I actually remember reading about or like seeing a corridor video on Pleasantville, that black and white film with Tobey Maguire, and how they had like the burning tree and like.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I think like for those scenes they could maybe be doing that technique where they theorize it's like they're not filming in black and white, like they're
just filming
like
in
masking
color, and then they're
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like what they did with the girl with the makeup. They like just made everything. They like put green screen makeup and then like put it on her. And sorry, I don't know. That was cool.
Imagine that. Imagine everybody wearing just green makeup. Everybody's Gamora. Wanda changes it to like make it the 70s and like everything's back in color. And you just Vision looks
green.
Technically normal because he's got submarines in there, you know. But then there's just Wanda who just looks straight up like Gamora. She's like,
it's just like the Blue Man Group.
Oh well, dear.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
speaking
the Blue
of
Man Group.
That reminded me, that was a, first off, really bad impersonation of Wanda. No offense. But I feel like this continues her trope of her accent slowly disappearing from Sokovia.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
wait, it's not even mentioned Sokovia in this first episode. I loved all the Sokovia puns. That's so...
It's a Sokovian welcome.
Sokovian. Yeah.
Hi, who is this behind you? Oh, it's your host.
It's your guest leaving. I like that actress also, her Hart's wife from that 70s show, that lady.
Yeah, that threw me off. I'm like, she looks so much different now, you know? It's
She's black and white.
She's black and white. She went back even further. Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's actually theories about in the second episode about Mr. Hart because he wasn't there at the talent show.
Yeah, he wasn't, but she was.
Yeah, so there's theories that he might have been removed or something like that.
Because he choked. I also really liked, like, at the end of the first episode when he chokes, like, all right, so everything's filmed like a 50s TV show, but when that moment happens and, like, it's sort of taking Wanda out of the fake reality, we start getting, like, more modern cinematography techniques and
I saw that too. I was like,
camera angles. Like, they just push in for close-ups, which you would never see in, like, a 50s show.
Wasn't it, like, a small dolly zoom when he started like choking?
I think so, yeah.
Like from a low angle?
Yeah. And like basically in the like 50 show you only show like one side of the house because like it's all fake the other side.
That's the setup. Yeah.
And they flipped around. The only shot they flipped around was when Vision was like saving that guy's life and you got to see the other side of the house. I just thought that was like really cool and helped you realize like, okay, something's off. And there's like playing with like our expectations of like older television, which is like crazy because their intended audience has not seen that older television. But like I think they appreciate and understand like our intelligence with movies and TV that they would know that we would like understand that. I don't know. That's a weird way of putting that. There's probably a better way to put that, but like I don't know if you know what I mean. But I think they're playing with the techniques very well.
Yeah. I want to talk about the ending of each episodes, right? Where you like the screen gets pulled out and then you see like swords recording.
Yes, yeah. At the first episode, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is going on with that? Like specific, like why, like.
I think someone's monitoring, like trying to see what Wanda's seeing in her brain. I have no idea. Maybe try to see what's like how they can get in or something. I don't know. I mean, they do get in. Like the beekeeper at the end of the second episode, like you were kind of talking about, he also has that sword logo on the back.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why it's like the bees. I wonder what significance that is. I saw someone theorize that like
it's a swarm.
Or just mentioned that like Spidey-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man has Swarm as like one of his villains, enemies, which is like just a guy from the comics. For those who don't know, it's just a guy who's made up of like bees, and like that's it. So I don't know. That could be.
I don't know.
Something. Swarm isn't usually a Wanda and Vision.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Enemy.
What I'm thinking about now, like Sword, I feel like Wanda might have set up this pocket universe herself. She might have. I feel like she might have made a deal with the devil that we don't know about yet.
Oh, because last we saw her was Endgame.
Yeah,
and she seemed pretty content and happy with Clint. Which I don't know why Clint was content because he had a horrible haircut. I'm just kidding. No, but they were like looking over the like beach and stuff. Not the beach, the freaking stream.
Yeah, and they're talking about like how they'd be happy knowing.
Yeah.
You know? But like I feel like she might have made a deal with the devil to get this pocket reality set up where she has vision, right?
Right.
And then that set up like spatial disturbance. Because this is theorized to be in Jersey, based off of like the area code from like one of the numbers, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like there's like this.
Everything's legal in New Jersey.
I feel like there's like a physical like quarantined area around this, right, where Wanda is, and now Sword has to come in to deal with that.
So do you think that like they brought people from the real world into this pocket dimension, or like this pocket dimension is like made up of just like fragments from like Wanda's past or something? Because like there was a moment when like whoever the blonde chick,
they start like realizing.
Yeah, she was like, "Who are you?" And like she almost like snapped out of it and then like kind of went back to normal. So like there could be like people trapped in there with her, maybe.
That's kind of what I think it is actual people. It could be like if my theory is true, where like she made a deal with the devil, her powers, her reality altering powers, could be then affecting that, you know, and kind of like reverting things back.
Oh,
but I don't know.
Right. Okay. Yeah, maybe there's like, maybe this is like happening all the time. Like with maybe somehow like this isn't the first time like the devil's like done this. If it is like a deal with the devil, maybe like he just hasn't done it with someone like Wanda, and Wanda's like too strong and like kind of breaking free, or something's happening that's messing up the system. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's kind of
exactly.
way out there, but
and that's why you get the subliminal messages where Sword's trying to figure out like, hey Wanda, who did this to you?
Yeah, like the radio and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's I wanted to quickly mention. Apparently, it was reported that every episode's around $25 million to make, which is
holy sugar,
insane. It makes it the most expensive television show in history. I was talking with my roommates about this. I don't know if that's like spread evenly out between each episode, because apparently like it's been rumored, and some of the actors have said that like it gets crazy at the end, like with visual effects and stuff, which when they probably break into like the multiverse and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like at the end things get like, maybe it's not 25 per episode. Maybe it's what that's what it averages out to. So like maybe like a lot of the budget goes towards like the end, because I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. No, I think that would make sense, because again, in these early episodes, you're in the 50s, you're mimicking the old cinematic style. You don't need like super fancy, you know, equipment or techniques to mimic that. You just do it.
Yeah.
You know,
but that's what I actually thought about that though. Like those old techniques, like I wonder if it's difficult now, because we have such,
because we've changed so much,
advanced tools, and technology to like make things look so much better that like we don't want to go back to that. I wonder if it's harder to go back and make it look like all weird, like when she's floating the cup and like washing it. Like I wonder how difficult that was, like because it looked like a 50s like fake trick shot, but like I wonder if that was like how they did it, like they did it back in the 50s, or if they did it like a crazy new way to make it look old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I guess we have to wait and see until we get behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be a mix of both in some cases, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like smaller pieces in that, like for example, when she's cooking the meal and like everything's floating around, I feel like some smaller pieces could have been like CGI, like maybe like forks or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe the plates or something like that are practical.
Yeah. I think also some of the budget could go to Vision, like whenever he's like just Vision, not Paul Bettany, that's a ton of money because they do all the makeup.
Yeah.
But also like every shot for Vision, they do VFX touch-ups to like make him look more androidy. So that's probably a bunch of money.
Yeah, because
speaking of Vision, I thought Paul Bettany did like a great job. I think he's a great
dude, he's doing an amazing job.
Actor, especially when he's like drunk. Like, how do you play a drunk android? Like what? Like when he gets gummed up, you know?
Yeah, he gets all gummed up. Yeah, I don't know, he did pretty good. I love how he was literally just giving up all of his powers and abilities.
I know. I wanted to like
it'd be funny if he did like his uni beam out of his head and just like into the ground.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like, oh my god, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Lasers, flashlights. Ooh.
Yeah, but I also do like, you can tell there's differences in the 50s and 60s, between the 50s and 60s show. Like when we get to the second episode, there are more dynamic camera movements and a little bit closer angles. Not much different, but like it is definitely different. And also their wardrobes and hair changed a lot. Yeah, I think we start getting out of some of those like gender norms that were very prevalent in the 50s. Also, we didn't have a black and white Marvel logo in the second episode.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the second episode, really, like at the beginning, they like push the two beds together because like they're in separate beds.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually a huge deal the first time. I remember learning about this in one of my film classes. It was a huge deal in like the 60s whenever the first time it was depicted on television, like a husband and wife sleeping in the same bed together. Like it was like the norm was what it started out as in that episode, with them in two separate beds. So like that would have been so taboo, like if that was actually a show in the 60s, like showing a husband and wife in bed together, which is crazy, like how far we've come.
That's weird to think about. Yeah, like 50 Shades of Grey, my guy. Like,
yeah.
But in all seriousness, it's funny to think about like how traditions of cinematography have changed in that aspect. You know, like we have to censor certain things, or we have to format things specific ways. Where now we're getting to the point where it's, you know, experimental in a sense. Like we're trying out all these kind of new different things. I mean, even with this show, especially.
Yeah.
With like all the new techniques that they're going to be applying later on. So it's just cool to see, you know, the evolution of it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this is like a cool like look back at history of like television. I wonder how much research the filmmakers did, probably a lot. And I wonder also how much research Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany had to do to like, that's probably a huge acting challenge to play
actors from each different like era.
Yeah. Like they're playing the same character, but through the lens of different decades of television. That's probably very difficult, honestly. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, anything you really want to talk about in the second episode before like right at the end, just like that magic show and everything.
I'm trying to think about what else happens. I mean,
he calls the guy a communist.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, dude, I have also super secret news. Straight up calls a guy a communist, and I'm just like, God, Vision, what?
And in the '60s, like that's a big deal.
Yeah, and then they all just start laughing, and then Vision's like, okay.
I like when the color comes in at the end, or like let's talk about the when like she rewinds, she's like no, like she doesn't want to accept. Like, I think she knows, like, someone's trying to come get her or something, and she's like, no, I don't want this to ruin my perfect moment of, like, realizing I'm pregnant and stuff. So she, like, rewinds time and, like, I don't know, I guess forcibly kicks him out. I hope that guy's okay, honestly, because, like, I don't know what that would do to a person when you get rewinded in, like, I don't know.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, if she altered reality in that sense, right? I feel like that supports my theory where she made the deal with the devil where she's like,
right,
no, okay, there's outside factors coming in. Let me get things back, you know?
Yeah, it's weird because, like, it seems like...
It's like she's in control, but she's also not in control.
But she's not. Like, she can't remember certain things, like, about how they got there, like, how long they've been married. But, like, but then, like, stuff like that, she can realize, like, okay, I'm changing this, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like when the shot when the color all comes back. That was a really cool shot.
Yeah, it was.
I thought when she's, like, turning around, like, transitioning to the 70s. And stuff. So I guess next week's the 70s. I think we're just gonna keep moving up in decades, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like how many episodes are supposed to be total this season?
8? I'm not sure.
So if there's 8, I feel like there's gonna be a break to where like we break reality.
9.
You know?
There's 9 episodes.
Yeah, because we do it by like a decade each episode, right? We get up to like modern day by like episode like 6.
Yeah, so 50s is 1, 60s 2, 73, 84, 95, 2006, 2010 is 7, 2020 is 8, and then 9, 2030, I don't know. we are in like 2024 in the actual MCU because that 5-year time jump. But yeah, I honestly, I enjoyed it. It was fun, nice change of pace from I think like the other Marvel stuff. That we've been seeing. I mean, we just did Ant-Man, which also felt like a nice change of pace. So I'm like, all right, I'm kind of tired of these changes of pace now.
Yeah, true. I mean, it feels good, you know, the like go off and like do different things, but at the same time, like I've missed the regiment of.
Yes.
I feel like once we start really getting into this grind of WandaVision, it's gonna be like.
And all the other Disney Plus shows that are coming out, like
it's
just gonna be good. Falcon Winter Soldier, I hope will be good.
When's that coming out?
I think March. No, it's been delayed to March 2021, so yeah, I was right. Okay. It stinks because we would have had all this earlier. We would already been like known, you know, but dang, pandemic.
Gotta love pandemic. Yeah, it's okay.
All right. What are your theories, predictions for the next couple episodes? We talked about it a bit. I mean,
I feel like who Monica Rochambeau, isn't that her name? The one cop lady. She's undercover, I believe, as the one friend of Wanda's when they were at the meeting.
Gotcha.
She was the daughter of Captain Marvel's best friend.
Oh, okay.
But she's like all grown up now.
Yeah.
She's an agent of SWORD.
The lady that was in the magic trick with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I feel like we're going to start getting more stuff about her in this next episode.
Gotcha, yeah.
Where she's going to be incorporated more.
I think this episode really established, these 2 episodes, it was a good establish of like what this is going to kind of be and like what the norm will be. And then I think we're going to start slowly breaking from the norm and seeing more weird things like the helicopter and the the like beekeeper, like and the blood and stuff. I feel like we can't just keep repeating the formula of like it's just going to be a normal TV show. I think people get bored of that pretty quick.
That's the thing. I feel like it's going to start slowly unwinding. You
know?
Like in the second episode we started to see it,
and like she's going to be trying more frantically to like just keep it together, but we'll be failing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, there's theories that I'm not sure if we brought this up, but the neighbor.
Yeah.
There's theories that she's a witch.
Agnes?
Yeah, Agnes.
Oh, okay.
I think it's that she's like Agatha Harkness or something like that. So
I love how she just kept like, he was like, how is anyone doing this sober? Like she was really funny.
I forget. I was watching some videos on it, and I feel like they might be setting her up to be like another witch, to where she's like trying to also influence. She could be like an act or an agent of Mephisto. I don't know. And there's also some other theories where she keeps on bringing up her husband Ralph. Oh, you mean my husband Ralph? But Ralph is actually Mephisto, and that's like the joke.
Oh, can you talk about Mephisto a little bit? I'm still a little confused on who that is.
I mean, it's literally just the devil in Marvel Comics.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
One of the biggest things that he did for somebody like Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man actually made a deal with him before. It was to get his secret identity back after Civil War.
Oh, shoot. That could be something then.
But he had to sacrifice his marriage with Mary Jane.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yeah. So that's probably like one of the biggest things in comics that he's been incorporated related to Spider-Man wise.
Yeah. Maybe he could do something like that because Spidey's identity was just revealed, so maybe that'll be something.
I know that's the thing. If they're getting Mephisto in this now, right?
Yeah.
They could be setting it up for that for Spider-Man 3. I don't know.
There were leaked photos literally like today that I saw of like a poster or like a poster board on the set of Spidey 3. And apparently it's like two sides of like propaganda. Like there's people on Spidey's side, and there's people on Mysterio's side, like of believing if it's Peter Parker or not kind of thing. So like there's like two sides to that apparently. I don't know.
That's Peter knows a scroll. He can just get out of it. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's done it before. Also, if he gets Daredevil, that'd be awesome to see if they did that.
Yeah.
To where if they had, I don't think it's going to work because they don't have the same body type, but it'd be funny if they had like Charlie Cox come back and it's like him dressed up as Spider-Man. Because that's happened in the comics before where they had Daredevil cover for him.
Yeah. Or Ryan Reynolds. Come.
Oh, look, what's Spider-Man doing? Why is he shooting people?
Why is Spider-Man cussing so much? Apparently, Deadpool 3 was just confirmed to be rated R, and Kevin Feige's like really excited to get started on that. I read something about that.
Yeah, that's going to be epic.
I don't know. I'm excited for all the Marvel stuff happening. But we've been talking, rambling for a bit. Are you ready to do some patron shout-outs?
Yeah, hit me with it.
Cue the epic Star Wars music. Boosh! We've got patron Lori, Frank, Rick, Tony, Evan. Thank you so much for pledging the tier. That gets you the shout out. If you want to support us over on Patreon, you get episodes early and shout outs in episodes, stuff like that. Get to vote on what we cover. The link's down in the description. Also, please follow our social medias. Twitter, Instagram, they are also down in the description. Post updates, do giveaways, which we've done before. We will probably be doing one again soon. Thank you to our giveaway winners, people who participated in that last one. Really appreciate it. Yeah, make sure you subscribe, leave a review. We'll like you, all that stuff. Subscribe for the next couple episodes. We're going to keep covering WandaVision. We're going to cover a bunch of the Marvel stuff. We like talking about this stuff. At least I do. Do you, Daniel?
No, I absolutely hate it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this podcast.
All right, gotcha. Daniel's in it for the money. All no money we get.
Yeah, the no money we get.
We do get some money. I do appreciate the patrons. I literally just shouted you out, but I put it all back into into the podcast and stuff.
Yeah, it goes into the podcast. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dude, this is fun. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see like how this develops with WandaVision. It's gonna be really good.
Yes, I agree. All right, you ready to take us home?
Yes. Tell me when.
When?
We just talked about what we want to talk about, and now we're done. Blank.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Really, really, really appreciate it. Hope you keep enjoying your 2021. Be safe, stay healthy. See you next time. Goodbye.
Peace.